Hello ladies and gentlemen and all the core gamers out there, CAJman777 here, welcoming you to episode 11 of Metroid Prime 3 Corruption today. In the last episode, we took down our first Leviathan Seed boss, Mojinar, which we fought for more than 30 minutes because he's an annoying piece of garbage. No one likes him on Hypermode as the first boss. He's very annoying. With the amount of energy you get, he's not fun. But this time, we're actually going to start our exploration of Elysia, which is the second planet in the system that we actually need to go through to get to the Leviathan Seed that's all the way down there. All the way down there. We actually can't get to it yet, which is very unfortunate. But before we get into that, I would like to take this opportunity to thank our donators over there on Patreon. Valentine Blaze, MickeyPhorGens, MaddiLeigh, Thomas, Liotos, and Color Craze for their continued support to the channel. And without further ado, let's start our Skytown exploration by scanning what is going to be actually just a repair drone. Automatic maintenance bot. Initial activation was 132.8 years ago. Boop. 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 I broke the maintenance bot. Oh no. Not the... So, right now what we need to do, we actually need to get the Aurora unit in Skytown online, or else we're actually going to have a very difficult time going to actually explore through Elysia here. But this drone right here, this is very important if you guys are lore hunting for the game. These are lore drones. Elysian data docket decoded. Entry creators. Data moved to logbook. That is not the logbook. There it is. Databot. Databots were designed by the Elysians as a mean to record and pass on. Why is it not scanning the lore? Scan the lore! Scan the lore! Thank you! Creators. I am Elysian, descendant of both the Chozo and the First. I am facing the last moments of my life and transferring my memory to the datapod. In a way, our chronicle begins nearly 1,500 years ago. That was when our noble creators, the Chozo, began to build that which would become our home. A place of exploration and knowledge floating in the clouds of the planet Elysia. A fitting home for its great Chozo builders. They built many linked hovering pods in the time they formed a net in the skies across the globe. Instruments peering out in all directions, studying the cosmos. We did not exist then. Only the Chozo walked these hallowed halls to the distant stars they looked, and a great many things they discovered, including that which would later spell grim disaster for all. More lore, which is really cool. Now, as we go into this next room, very important that we actually activate Hyperball here. This is like one of the very few instances of Hyperball in the game that we actually use to activate, or I should say deactivate, this statue so we can actually get around it. And obviously we're going to heal up because of that as well. Now, we do have some glass that we need to shatter. You can do that just by shooting a quick little charge shot at it, and obviously just grapple swing across. Pretty easy. Obviously, getting through the beginning of Elysia, it's not difficult at all. It has some really cool travel mechanics, and we are going to get to that actually right now as we enter Skytown. So you may notice that all these areas are interconnected by a rail system. Well, this rail system in particular is how we're going to get around Elysia most of the time here. Now, what's really cool about this rail system is you can actually do quite a few things with it. Unfortunately, along with the rail system being as problematic as it could be, sometimes they will spawn enemies as we ride these rails. On our first rail, I don't believe we will have any enemies spawn, just a couple repair drones that we need to get rid of, or else they're going to bump into us, and we don't want that. But this first one just has some gates in the way. Just take care of the gates really quickly, and you are all set. And obviously, these go into multiple rooms, and obviously, from the outside, these rooms don't look big, but once we get into them, they're much bigger on the inside than it looks. Now, right here, these are going to be our first enemies. These are tin bots, lightweight androids that are easily knocked down. A lot of Elysia is steam-powered and powered by electricity, so we're going to be fighting a lot of robots in this area. They are relatively weak. Their shots do 6 damage apiece, and one charge beam usually just takes them out very quickly. No need to really panic against the tin bots. one charge beam for each of them, and they're just instantly gone. So don't be too concerned about that. Now, up here, we do have a grab ledge. I am actually going to go up and grab this, but I can show you that there's a dead end here. And unfortunately, we actually can't do anything with this. If we scan this, this is just a communications satellite. Now, up there, on top of that, there's actually an energy tank. Unfortunately, we can't access this quite yet. So we'll have to come back here. And we will get the opportunity to come back here to grab that energy tank as we go. But as we go into the next room here, we've got another lore bot. Gonna scan this up. Elysian data deck decoded. The gift. Several decades passed for the Chozo here at Elysia. The harsh winds and storms began to take their toll on the station, and upkeep began to take up more and more of their precious time. Seeing the need for assistance, they created us, the first Elysian, built by Chozo hands, stepped out of the mechanic crash about 1,500 years ago. Crude by our current standards, the first was soon given the greatest gift of all by the Chozo to better assist the creators. The first was given self-awareness. To all other Elysians, the first shared the Chozo gift. This event marks year 1 of the Elysian Reckoning. These are actually holographic projectors. Gore's image is displayed. I don't know if you guys can see that, but yes, Gore's face is displayed. If we want to, we can just kind of deface Gore. You know, even though he's a hunter. Gore is just he's a tough guy. Oh, this gentleman right here. This is the Steam Lord, and we're actually gonna get to him very, very soon. He just kind of shows up and does his own thing. We'll get to that in a minute. Personally, I think the Steam Lord. Well, okay, you know, I can't spoil too much. I can't. It wouldn't be fair to you guys. Right. So another way we're gonna actually get some transport around Elysia here is with these kinetic orb cannons, which have been in every Metroid Prime game so far. So these kinetic orb cannons are very, very useful for us. And obviously, we are going to use these to pick up a quick missile expansion and double bomb jump here. Free in-game missile expansion. You might as well pick this up now while you're here so you don't have to worry about it later, while you technically could get it on your way back. Through Elysia, there is no point. Now, this right here, locking mechanisms, simultaneous blast to all targets is required to disengage locks. Notice how there's 5 targets. There's a particular, well, let's just say there's a particular item in a lot of the Metroid Prime games. In fact, in every Metroid Prime game, that has allowed us to do such thing. Now, these right here, these electric orbs will knock you off the rail system. They can be very annoying to get rid of, especially the bot that decides to run along the top. You actually can't shoot this bot, but what you can do is shoot the orbs to get along the rails. And unfortunately, I'm not very good at this on Hypermode, but it might be just because my aim is, you know, bad right now. So let's see if I can survive going around here while we hopefully don't get hit by another orb, as he's going to drop one right here. Yeah, and he's going to drop one there, and he's going to drop another one there. Unfortunately, I cannot scan that bot. If I could scan the bot, I would, but he's going to drop a couple more orbs in our path here. Just one more. And we are across on the 3rd time's the charm, so that's always pretty good. So going through here, you can see Mr. Steam Lord. Again, he just kind of vanishes. Now, this laser room, it's very important. You can hear an item pickup right under these lasers. So what you're going to do, you're going to drop down. You're just going to roll backwards. There's another missile expansion if you guys are playing 100% for you guys. So make sure you pick up that missile expansion. I'm going to wait for these lasers to go over me again. This is really the only room where I don't want to take quite a bit of damage, because we are pretty close to the, actually the AU chamber here. But are you guys ready? Now we're gonna have a little fun coming up here. Hypermode will probably be needed, knowing us. Obviously, we just took an elevator to get up. Obviously, there's no way back up, though. No way back up. That's unfortunate. 'Tis sad. But, alas, we can go on through. Take these little... Oh, yeah, I forgot about the plungers. Forgot about the little plungy things. Little steam-powered plungers there. And we got some more steam here. And there is a spider ball track here, as you guys notice. We will actually be picking up spider ball relatively soon. Not really soon, but we'll be picking it up relatively. Actually, no, I take it back. No, we're not gonna have spider ball in this game for a decent while at least. But we will be picking up another ball upgrade very shortly. Of course, coming into this room, There's a giant thing in the middle of the room. No one knows what this giant thing is, so let's just walk toward the giant thing and try and walk out of the room. And, where's the door? It's over here. Oh, yeah. That's right. Oh, yeah! Who knew that was going to happen? Ladies and gentlemen, your first mini-boss of Elysia is the Steam Lord and his army of Steam bots. So quickly, I'm going to scan the Steam Lord and read the logbook for you guys here on the Steam Lord. Steam Lord's command of the worker drones of Skytown. They repair them when they malfunction or break down. Lightly armored, they rely on their cloaking field to evade their enemies. They can generate a localized EMP field to hinder enemy visor systems. Super annoying. And of course, next to them, we have the more powerful Steam Bot, lightly armed and armored, rendered inert by high temperature hits. The Steam Bot's lightly armored exterior can be damaged by any weapon. High temperature weapons are particularly effective and can render them inert and beyond repair. Unlike their lightweight cousins, they are made of durable metals and cannot be tossed around. Steam Bots serve as combat units for the Steam Lords. They are armed with kinetic beam pistols, missile racks, and can use their tool arms in close combat. Damaged units can be restored by the Steam Lords. So, the trick to this mini-boss fight, you're going to want to activate Hypermode and knock down as many Steam Bots as possible. Following that, you are going to want to damage the Steam Lord, but as you can hear, ladies and gentlemen, the Steam Lord, as a mini-boss for the first time, has his own unique theme, so I'm going to shut up, activate Hypermode, and let's get this fight started, shall we? While you guys listen to this awesome theme. He knocked me out of it. Anyways, you guys have probably gotten the feel on a Steam now, so what we're going to do is I'm just going to damage these Steam Bots as much as I can here. Probably save the rest of my Hypermode gauge, as Steam Lord will attempt to revive as many of the bots as he can, but I'm going to try and keep them down as Steam Lord appears. The best thing really to do when you're fighting Steam Lord is stay in the corners of the room. He cannot revive as long as he is being, he cannot revive as long as a bot is down and you shoot the bot. Unfortunately, his revival is very quick on these bots, and unfortunately, he is a rather tough opponent as well, and because he can damage your visor system, it's not a optimal solution to stay in Hypermode forever against the Steam Lord. The reason I was activating Hypermode, though, when I was fighting the Steam Lord is because for what he does, his effect, when you actually knock out Steam Lord, he dies very quickly when you have Hypermode, but the reason I was activating Hypermode is because of what he drops. Steam Lord, as a mini-boss, drops an energy tank, which will obviously refill our energy back to maximum, so just free energy there. And that is Steam Lord. Steam Lord is done. Now, unfortunately, the one thing about the Steam Lords is they kind of overused the Steam Lords. He had a really cool idea as a mini-boss, and I thought it was really well done. But, you know, the developers decided, let's make the Steam Lords a common enemy. So now, because of the first Steam Lord's defeat, we're going to see twice as many Steam Lords just as common enemies. They will be much weaker than the mini-boss version, though. Obviously, on Hypermode, it's also a little bit important to deal with these things. So we got another lore bot here. We're going to just knock him out and read his lore. Discovery. The Chozo were watchers, studying the depths of space tirelessly to quench their thirst for knowledge. From this facility, they launched observation satellites, firing them into the heavens toward distant worlds. These satellites returned information that allowed them to analyze the various phenomena occurring across the cosmos. Though this process Through this process, they were able to satisfy their intellectual appetite one planet at a time. One day, a Chozo searcher happened upon a very rare discovery. A once-thought lost satellite delivered information on a distant world. It was incredibly far away, even by Chozo reckoning. The study of the stellar object revealed that it was, in many ways, a planet, and yet also sentient, alive. This chance event was brief, and the information being collected was lost before the true identity of the planet was revealed. There are some speculations with what that is, with what that planet is. Some people say it is the main planet of this game, the main enemy planet of this game, which we will get to much later. I don't need to worry about it too much now. That's right, I can't do anything here yet. Much later. And I will explain that when we get to it, but I can't spoil it too much now. So that's a good. That's a good thing. Of course, we got a couple more repair drones, and, you know, we don't really need to gather the energy or anything here, so let's just continue on our way. Walking on through, and of course, we're going to hit just another little bit of a grappling system, which is very fun. I love the grappling systems. We might actually get some enemies coming in front of us on this one. Yes, we are. These are kind of ridiculous. They take a couple shots. One charge shot will do them in, if you can hit them, but I barely got it. Shooting them is very tricky. Usually on normal difficulty, they die in 2 shots, but because this is hyper mode, you've got to hit them about 4 times. So they have pretty much twice as much health as they normally would. Nobody likes them. I don't like them. Nobody likes them. I don't like them. Nobody else likes them. Especially because later on in the game, especially when you have to go back, they like to knock me off the wall quite a bit. Now, over here is going to be our save room. Which I'm not actually going to access right now. I'm just going to open it up, knowing that's what the save room is before the end of the episode. We have some story to go through here in this episode right now. We have some story lore. Now, obviously, all this stuff here, I got to scan this because I never did. Scans indicate the alloys within this metal are vulnerable to heat. High temperature shots could melt it. What is this? Actually, this is a generator? Yeah, energy generator. I remembered what it was. So coming into here, you may notice that there are there's a phazon, like, infection on the ground. And of course, the AU was corrupted with the virus in this area. And of course, that is the AU right there. 217? Unfortunately, we cannot access 217.
The Aurora unit chamber has been sealed off and secured by a kinetic clock. Continue exploring Skytown. There must be something in this facility that can help you open the chamber gate.
There is, but unfortunately, we are actually going to have to save that for the next episode, ladies and gentlemen, as I am out of time for this episode. Got to keep these episodes short, sweet, to the point, half the time, because, you know, recording failures are a thing, and no one wants recording failures, so I choose not to have recording failures. But I hope all of you guys enjoyed this episode of Metroid Prime 3 Corruption. And in the next episode, we're going to go get our thing that helps us open the kinetic lock to access Aurora Unit 217. So until then, this is CIJ Man 777, signing off. Stay safe, everybody.